Раз. Здравствуйте всем. Спасибо, что вы пришли. Меня зовут Эльмира, я координатор магистерской программы Advanced Urban Design, которую мы запускаем совместно с Институтом Стрелка и Высшей школой урбанистики. Учеба начинается в октябре, и в качестве такого теста для будущих студентов, кто еще думает, поступать к нам или нет, мы делаем серию мероприятий с нашими преподавателями. И сегодня выступит с лекцией один из наших преподавателей и один из ведущих студий выпускного проекта Тео Дойтингер, архитектор, картограф, художник, который занимается изучением социокультурной карты города и визуализацией этих данных. Он выступит с лекцией «Город-атлетов». Что все это значит, прекрасные метафоры, он расскажет во время лекции. Спасибо вам большое. Вот я еще дам слово Алексею Новикову.
Good evening. I guess our presentation today is in English. We have a special guest today, Teo Doйтингер, and so thank you very much for coming. And just to make sure that everyone here understands English, we don't have a translation here. And if you want to ask a question, you have to ask it in English. Okay, so Teo is gonna come back to Moscow on October, right, for the workshop. And today is the first visit to Moscow organized by Stroke Institute and Graduate School of Urbanism. So very welcome, and please, the floor is yours. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, do I have to use the microphone?
Yes, because we have a translation.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Internet, so
Yeah. Because it creates a little bit of distance, but yeah, maybe I can overcome it. Yes. Today I want to talk. The lecture is called City of Athletes. It's an ongoing study where I work on the relationship, or think about the relationship between the people and the space. As you see here, is a hammer thrower, or a woman hammer thrower, which I will explain later. I mean, that's more or less the fascination I have. You have a person, in this case it's Marina Abramovic, and the space around her. I mean, she in her work plays a lot with distance, and let's say that the space a person has or so is surrounded by. Here it's a very large space. Earlier works, probably you know, when she was standing in a doorway with I don't know if it was her friend or so, but two persons you had to pass through, which was very awkward. So you had a very little space. But my interest, of course, goes out into the impact for urban designers and architects. I realized that kind of in sports, or especially in hammer throwing, is very, very strong metaphor for this, how you can extend your space or your force into space. This is Yuri Sedic. He is world champion in hammer throwing, Olympic champion, and still has the world record in hammer throwing. I think it's unbroken record, I think, since 1980s. Why I'm referring to hammer throwing is because we found evidence that in Scandinavia, hammer throwing was, how could you say, an urbanistic sport. Because it was, the rule was Hamarskift, and Hamarskift meant that in the beginning of a season, the farmer threw the hammer as far as he could in 4 directions, and this space was owned by the farmer for 1 season. So that the fitness of the farmer was directly related to the space around him. So this had several implications. It was repeated every year. So it had the implication that, I guess, I mean, I'm just making that up, that the farmers were continuously also exercising. to be able to throw the hammer, because the further you throw, the bigger your land is, the more income you could have, and so on. Of course, getting old was a problem then, but you probably also needed less food to survive. Also. But it was a very direct relationship between the person or the family and the space. There are more evidences of this. For example, Cicero is mentioning a tribe which did the same with a spear. And up to now, there are more examples. I'm changing, nothing changes. Oh yeah, no. Can I do it by clicking? That's it. Oh yeah. I just don't know where these are explained. That yeah, for example, is of course Thor in the Nordic myth. There is also a god which where the hammer. So the hammer is very engraved in this whole society. Up to, let's say, 300 years ago, it was very common to divide fishing rights by hammer throwing. This is a German text, but a miller could throw the hammer up and down the mill, and as far as he threw, he could fish in the little creek he was milling. So this throwing and defining by a throw the area was quite till quite recent times popular. Can I take the? It's anyway wireless. Yeah, so easy. Yeah, also religion, of course. This is the Saint Wolfgang. I don't know if you have. I'm not so familiar with the Orthodox Church. You probably don't have Saint Wolfgangs, but I'm Catholic, or not really Catholic, but I'm raised Catholic, and we have a lot of saints. And this is Wolfgang. He was a hammer thrower, and he threw the hammer apparently 4 kilometers, built a church where it landed, and so on. But this myth is more ideological hammer throwing, or ideological. What I mean with that is that you can not only claim land by owning the land, but you can also claim territory by claiming it ideologically with a religion, for example, in this case. Now this does not work anymore. How is this possible? Maybe I'm too far away. Huh? Yeah. Yes, one of the latest examples of the relationship between the human fitness and land is the Oklahoma land rush, where land was taken actually from the original people, from the Indians, and were given to the cowboys, and in one day whole cities were claimed and built, because there was a kind of starting shoot, and then people could, as fast as they could ride with the horses, claim land and plant the flag, and that was theirs. Next slide, please. I will now make a big jump to nowadays, because I think hammer throwing is still a profession, but it's not kind of urbanistically recognized anymore. For example, IKEA, big companies like IKEA are still hammer throwers. We just don't know the practice, or we don't know the rules anymore. Here I just show, I think I can do it now because I'm just pointing it. This is, for example, a movie from movie stills from Yuri Sedic trainings program, where they calculated how to throw the hammer and to swing the hammer and throw it in the most perfect angle. It was called the dance. And I'm just saying that we don't know the dance of IKEA. IKEA is claiming space, but we as urban planners or architects don't know how they really do it. But for example, here you see the catchment area of an IKEA in Austria. So that's the IKEA. This is the first ring. I think this is first ring is 15 car minutes. Second ring is 30 minutes. Third ring is 60 minutes. And it goes beyond national boundaries to Slovenia and Croatia. So their catchment area is about 500,000 persons. So if they swing, let's say,